Hello again, it's Joey Joe Maguire. I'm in a wonderful Witherspoon's pub today in Holloway. I've been here many times before. It's called the Coronet. It's an old cinema and they've kept all the main features. Absolutely wonderful Witherspoon's pub, worth coming to see, I'll tell you. I'm about to recite my latest poem done in the early hours of this morning. It's called Coming to Terms with the Stranger. Deeply traumatized, head bowed and on my knees, hanging on to threads in desperation, I was stunned by a thunderbolt that seemed to come from nowhere. Knocked near senseless, I called upon my grit to hold against the onslaught of an uninvited stranger who rapped hard upon my door, insisting on entering my life. He stood stoic in the form of loneliness, black as the darkest shadow, threatening, with a heart as cold as the tempest that raged behind him that was to follow. The tears I cried bear witness to my acute sufferings, as do the rivers they formed, cutting deep ravines into my soul. And be sure of this, such suffering is always done on your own. I recall the very dark years where I fought like a Trojan in the mind-on-mind wars. Like David versus Goliath, I stood tall against the intruder, but to no avail, as I entered a world of purgatory I never knew existed. My trauma never once abated, its signature, the extreme highs and lows that rage as fire to this day, though left are its final glowing embers, more noticeable at night than through the day. Unlike David, my fight was not won on the battlefield. I was not cheered on, pronounced a hero by my allies, but I did, however, manage to win the day by finally accepting the stranger, allowing his loneliness into my heart, thereby leaving myself nothing else to fear other than the piercing silence, something which I am learning to switch off, pigeonhole at my own volition, to once again gain the peace I truly earned and now deserved. It's a poem about PTSD suffered by the one and only after a major trauma. Joey Joe Maguire.